Hey, what's going on guys? It's me, Aiden from Cartoon Apocalypse, and today I'm back with another Star vs. the Forces of Evil video. Now this video is going to be more of a topic that I kind of discuss and I don't exactly put my opinion in, because this is something that I've thought about for a good while now, and I'm kind of on the line. I can see both sides of the argument, and I think I'm just right in the middle, maybe a little bit more leaning to one side over the others, which is contrary to what I first thought. But it is an interesting topic that I do think a lot of people would like me to talk about. So this video is going to be discussing whether or not this mysterious lady is Eclipsa or not. Now, some of you might just have automatically defaulted to it being Eclipsa, and that's what I immediately at first thought too, but then I put a little bit more thought into it and I was like, well, maybe it's not. But anyway, it's not really involving like my train of thought and how I thought of it first and as I went through it. I'm more talking about why it could be Eclipsa and why it couldn't be Eclipsa, and then just kind of like seeing which one weighs more, and then just determining if we can make a good guess. Now this is actually something that me and Lord Victorino and a couple other people from our Discord actually talked about. You can go join our Discord, linked is down in the description below if you want to be featured in some videos and things like that, or just talk with the community, just things like that. You can go join the Discord, link is down in the description. But I do want to give a shout out to Lord Victorino, because he has helped out with a lot of the recent videos as far as just talking with me on theories and things like that, and he actually uploaded a new theory from him just not too long ago. So I'll leave both his channel and his video linked down in the description. It would be so awesome if you went to check it out. So first, let's start off on why this could be Eclipsa, because there are some obvious defining features that kind of point to it being Eclipsa. The first thing is that her hair is green, and I think if her hair wasn't green, this whole theory would just kind of, be thrown out the window. Because of the green hair, it's pretty much the whole reason why we have this. Now that doesn't mean that there isn't any other green-haired people in the show. Somebody else in this promo actually has green hair, and that's an entirely new character. So that's one thing to point out, just kind of going against it, but we don't really know too many green-haired characters in the show, so just Eclipsa's the default. Now the next thing is just her general face shape. She has the same eye style. It's kind of similar to Marco's in the fact it's not just round eyes. It looks more like an oval, not entirely an oval, but it's more than just like the big round one. It's more horizontal. And just her cheeks, she has that face that when you first look at her, she kind of looks like Eclipsa. Now the biggest thing that would have defined this, if it was true, would probably be her cheek marks, but her glasses, some people say that her glasses are covering up her cheek marks, and then some people say, well, maybe she's wearing makeup, and really it could be either one of those. It depends on like the animation studio and just the animation just in general on whether or not there would be cheek marks. My guess would be, since it'd just be easier not to include the cheek marks, and since it could be implied that the glasses are covering them up, then they just, like, if there's a little sliver at the bottom, they're not going to include it because it could look weird. So I don't think that not seeing cheek marks is a big defining feature on if this is Eclipsa or not. That's just the animation. So she could have cheek marks, maybe not. We don't know. Now another thing that Lord Victorino pointed out is that it looks like that this character is actually wearing a ring, which could be Eclipsa's wedding ring with Globgor. Now I didn't think personally that this was a super great reason, because we don't usually see Eclipsa wear a ring, I don't think. However, this could be showing that she's just back with Globgor and she wanted to wear a ring. It is also important to note that like Queen Moon I don't think wears a ring, and it's probably just something that makes it easier on animation, so it could mean that this is important in determining if this is Eclipsa or not, because there is a ring. Or maybe it's not even a ring at all, because the quality of this video is just really bad and it's hard to tell. So we don't exactly know if that's a ring or not. It looks like a ring and people are assuming it's a ring, but maybe it's just like a really large mole or something. Now another person in our Discord named Nimit, or Near Limit, actually translated the promo itself into English. So they just took text and put it over the Japanese text. So we can see the text on Eclipsa says new development, or at least that's what it translated to. And then the one on the next page where it's like kind of odd and people are like surprised and like questioning who this is, it actually says who. So that makes sense for the promo. Like they expected people to kind of debate about it and see what, like, who it was and things like that. So that could really just imply that, oh, well, they did that on purpose to say like, oh, it is Eclipsa, there's new development with Eclipsa, and there's a reason for it. Or they said who, as in, who is this character? Are we meeting new people? New development as in like new people, meeting new people, things like that. Because as we know, the star cast isn't super large. We do have like a decent amount of people, but it's not like it's a super large where we know just like the whole town. It's pretty minimal. Now, as to the reason of why this would be Eclipsa, it's also, Lord Victorino pointed out that maybe Eclipsa was just trying to change up everything a bit, because Muni is probably scared of Eclipsa because they were taught that she was evil, things like that. So maybe she wants to change her appearance, say that she's a new person, so she went to the pony heads to get a makeover and try to change what she looked like and things like that. So that makes sense, and I totally understand where they're going at. And that's pretty much the biggest reason on why I'm leaning more towards it is Eclipsa, just because that whole idea makes a lot more sense than this person being a fashion designer. Now, originally I had thought that she was a fashion designer, or that was the thought that occurred to me, and that was because she was wearing clothes that a fashion designer would look like, and she has a hair like a fashion designer. However, there are just a couple things that just don't add up. You can see her eyebrows are actually, she looks worried, or like, she looks like somebody who's like, how do I look? Things like that, as in she doesn't know how she looks, and she's a little bit like scared of what people will think and things like that, because she doesn't think it looks too great, and that's just like a cliche, like trying on outfits and things like that. So just her expression in general makes it seem like she's not a fashion designer, because I feel like a fashion designer would have a more straight face and be like, yeah, let's do this. And the reason that I thought originally that this might be a fashion designer is because on the last side we see Ponyhead wearing a bunch of makeup and stuff like that. So that's my guess on where Ponyhead gets her makeup, if she does this with Eclipsa, but that's pretty much where we are now. So now let's go ahead and talk about the reasons on why this isn't Eclipsa, because there are a couple big things that really kind of point against it, but you know, I'll let you decide on if you think it's Eclipsa or not. So the first thing is her hair. This lady's hair is longer than Eclipsa's normal hair. Now that doesn't mean that it's not Eclipsa, because it could be a wig, probably not. The best explanation we have is simply that there's magic. That's the biggest explanation for most of these things, is that there's magic and this could be changed. So it is possible that Eclipsa could have changed her hair to look like this and made it longer. So that's the biggest reason on why the hair isn't such a big like determining factor, but it is still something that you'd want to point out. The next biggest pointing factor is that her hands are not purple. This was the thing that kept me going when I was talking with Lord Victorino on saying like why this isn't Eclipsa, because her hands were just back to normal. And magic, I don't think actually fixes that problem, because magic was the reason that that occurred. And I think Moon would have already done something to get rid of her hands if she could have. But as we saw from the finale, she actually had to go to the realm of magic and wash out the magic essentially from like her hands. And Eclipsa could have done the same thing, or this could be makeup, either one. Or this could have also just been another animation error, because if you guys didn't know, the Stump Day special had an animation error where Moon's hands weren't purple, they were just normal colored. So that's another thing that could happen here, is possibly this was just another animation error. So there we go, that's really the biggest reasons on why this could be Eclipsa and why it couldn't be, and why maybe it's not Eclipsa. As you guys probably were able to tell, the bigger evidence is on the side that it's not Eclipsa. However, there is more evidence supporting that it is Eclipsa as far as just looks and maybe motivation as far as what makes the most sense. So I'll leave this up to you to decide whether or not this is Eclipsa or not. I'm going to stay right in the middle until we see more clips, or we see like a higher quality clip of this. For right now, I'm probably going to lean more on the side that this is Eclipsa. I know Lord Victorino and Eagle and everybody, they're probably like, yay, we got him. But I can see both sides of the argument on if it is. And I won't be surprised either way, because I believed in both sides. and so I'm just excited to see who this actually is, so that's gonna be super cool. But that's gonna be it for me today. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and if you did, leave a like and subscribe for more content similar to this. Leave suggestions on videos that you'd like to see down in the comment section down below. I'll be going through them and looking, and who knows, maybe your comment will be a video idea. But that's gonna be it for me, and I'll talk to you guys later. Goodbye.
Your friends are very persistent.